foes, from wanted as my friendly foes, and contrast wars of wars, sweet is us, and freezing fast, and freezing fast, and freezing fast, schools for
Hello viewers, and welcome to my new YouTube channel. Man is King Africa. Call me King Falme. This is the moment that I've waited for a very long time to come, and finally it has come to happen. The day when the woman tigress, the social media influencer, aka the female Andrew Ted, just Pearly things, go to meet one-on-one with the king of media personality, Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is one of the celebrated media personality that I've followed for many years, since his time in CNN. I followed Piers Morgan for all the ages and for a reason, because of his stand on issues. He's so firm in his decision. What is right, he always calls it right as it is. Whatever is wrong, he will always be quick to point it out, just as it is. I even remember his time in CNN, and even the quitting of CNN. It was such a moving message to listen to, as he said goodbye to CNN. Listen in.
This is the final Piers Morgan Live. After 3 years, 2 months, 11 days and over 1,000 shows, I'm departing to spend more time with my cricket bat. I'd like to thank my amazing team, led with great skill and tireless enthusiasm by my friend and executive producer Jonathan Wald, and John Ferreter, my irrepressible manager, who landed me this fascinating, unpredictable, challenging, but hugely enjoyable job. We won some, we lost some, but we gave it everything we had, and I've loved every minute. Well, almost every minute. I'd also like to thank you all for watching, even those who implacably disagreed with me or just found my funny accent annoying. Regular viewers will know that the issue of gun control has been a consistent and often very controversial part of this show. And I want to say something more about that before I bow out. I've lived and worked in America for much of the past decade. It's a magnificent country, a land of true opportunity that affords anyone, even British chancellors like me, the opportunity to live the American dream. The vast majority of Americans I've met are decent, hard-working, thoroughly dependable people. As my brother, a British Army colonel, says, you'd always want an American next to you in a trench when the going gets tough. But that's where I think guns belong, on a military battlefield, in the hands of highly trained men and women fighting for democracy and freedom, not in the hands of civilians. The scourge of gun violence is a disease that now infects every aspect of American life. Each day, on average, 35 people in this country are murdered with guns, another 50 kill themselves with guns, and 200 more are shot but survive. That's 100,000 people a year hit by gunfire in America. Now, I assume that after 70 people were shot in a movie theatre, and then just a few months later, 21st graders were murdered with an assault rifle in an elementary school, that the absurd gun laws in this country would change, but nothing has happened. The gun lobby in America, led by the NRA, has bullied this nation's politicians into cowardly supine silence, even when 20 young children are blown away in their classrooms. This is a shameful situation that frankly has made me very angry. So angry, in fact, that some people have criticised me for being too loud, opinionated, even rude when I've debated the issue of guns. But I make no apologies for that. As Sir Winston Churchill said, if you have an important point to make, don't try and be subtle or clever. Use a pile driver. Hit the point once, then come back and hit it again. Then hit it a third time. A tremendous whack. My point is simple. More guns doesn't mean less crime, as the NRA repeatedly tries to tell you. It means more gun violence, more death, and more profits for the gun manufacturers. And to those who claim my gun control campaigning has been anti-American, well, the reverse is true. I'm so pro-American, I want more of you to stay alive. But I've made my point. I've given it a tremendous whack. Now it's down to you. It is your country. These are your gun laws. And the senseless slaughter will only end when enough Americans stand together and cry, enough. I look forward to that day. I also look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you, and God bless America. Oh, and while I'm at it, God bless Great Britain too. Good night.
And then on AGT, watch.
Hello.
Hello.
So are you the genius behind this? Do you come up with the choreography and the video?
We actually do everything with all members.
This is a tough round. Out of 20 acts, we're only going to be able to choose 7. So I wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
America's Got Talent 2015. Yes, Zero. Yes, Morgan hits Golden Buzzer. That one. Exactly. Watch. That was the action that took place in the choreography before Piers Morgan had to hit that golden buzzer. Lovely. Beautiful.
Oh my God.
This is a very difficult round. And we say the lamest thing, step it up. Because who the hell knows what's...
When this guy is happy,
If there's a definition,
he is
step it
indeed
up,
happy.
just did it.
Look at her, the smile on his face.
Heidi,
Did you even feel me bouncing in my seat?
you can...
Did you? I
can
was.
feel you bouncing.
I was.
I thought it was Piers bouncing.
No, it was me. I really like what you guys do. It's very original. It's modern. It's cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Piers, you are certainly a tough judge. What do you say here?
I didn't like it. No, I didn't like it.
Haiti accepts that Piers Morgan is a tough judge.
It's cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Piers, you are certainly a tough
Once he
judge.
said,
What do you
I
say here?
didn't like it,
I didn't like it.
oh, the face. When he's happy.
No, I didn't like it because I absolutely loved it. I did this job for 6 years on America's Got Talent, and I was trying to think of any act I'd ever seen that had the kind of originality and creativity, and I honestly couldn't think of one that I think quite rivals the level you're already at. Now, you may be aware that I have this golden buzzer in front of me. Now, do you think that you are worthy of that?
I believe so.
And then the moment came.
Right to think that because you're getting the golden.
When I say allow this guy because how authentic he is, I mean it. That is the character that I do love so much. And now, the moment that I've waited in his third part of his career, now I believe this is the final part of his career, Piers Morgan and censored. I've had an opportunity to watch various talks, live talks with Piers Morgan, but not at any time have I been so anticipatory of such a conversation as the one we are about to listen in yesterday, when Piers Morgan hosted the Queen, the Tiger, the female tigress, media personality, also known as the female Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, also known as the Maury Andrew Tate III, was born in the year 1986. Is a British American social personality who happens to be one of the most viewed person on the planet as we stand today. Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is also a businessman, a former professional kickboxer who began kickboxing in the year 2005 and had an opportunity to land his first championship ever in 2009. Andrew Tate has been so vocal, teaching men how to be men, something that has gotten him into very bad books with the modern feminists who don't want men to be men in this current generation. Andrew Tate has been able to unlock the matrix to so many young men who never understood how the system works. And now, as we stand, very many people under the sun, especially young men, are enlightened as pertain to the system and how the matrix works. Credit to Andrew Tate. And now back to the female Andrew Tate, this wonderful, beautiful woman, very young, very tender, very eloquent, very consistent in her production. She is also a media personality. Her name is Pearl Davis, and on her media platform, YouTube channel, she goes by the name Just Pearly Things. She is also very vocal, and she claims not to be a feminist. She distates everything the feminists do, especially in the modern generation, whereby women are becoming men and wishing all men wore skirts. Something that Just Pearly Things, Pearly Davis, totally disagrees. And this is the moment that I've waited with bated breath, such that to be able to view two media personalities lock horns on one of the most watched channel under the sun, Piers Morgan live. Let's watch the female tigress face the media giant Piers Morgan on Piers Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Pearl Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so that your average wife has slept with over 5 people.
OK, well, Pearl joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she heard. Right, Pearl, you've be called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. You know, I'm a fan of Andrew Tate.
Of everything he says?
It depends what we're talking about, but overall, I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young men.
Okay, look, you're talking about women predominantly, which is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself, the right to vote?
Well, what happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, like, why would women not? No, it's true. It's true. You look it up.
At the time?
At the time.
Because they've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
I mean, that's what they say. But, you know, I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. You know, before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were married. And, you know, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
What's that got to do with them having the vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military. In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is essentially the draft.
Okay, but specifically on the vote, what would having the right to vote have to do with family cohesion, for example?
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have two votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped about
No, do you know what it's
3 feet.
I know.
It's just sort of a bit galaxy brain. I feel like, you know, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
They just kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
allegedly?
The time, well,
what do you mean allegedly?
At the time that you're talking about, you know, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they were. That's incorrect. The first female property owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work and couldn't.
I'm so sorry, but that would be inherited property.
The first female millionaire was in the late 1800s.
And was that inherited?
No, it wasn't. It was self-made. Yes, it was.
Self-made.
Yes, it
and
was.
She never inherited land.
Yes, she did not inherit it.
What law permitted that?
What?
What law permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential in history.
Let's get on to the vote. So what I don't understand is, you know, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
You know, your big push is that you care about men and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
well, I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't made the point yet.
Okay.
Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. How is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again, men do all of the
feminists are
well,
saying.
then okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society. They're open, they're hiring, because I don't I don't think men or women are equal until we do the equal work. So no, listen. Go apply to be on the oil rigs. Go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be on the front lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, but I don't think that I'm physically built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely not. You said you were
volleyball. Wow.
You said you were a volleyball player, and so you've got more strength than I do. I don't think that I can do those jobs.
I don't have more strength than the average man.
I'm not going to take your right away to do it.
I don't have more strength than the average man, but again, it goes back to go be a plumber. You want to be equal, go be equal.
But you want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because I don't think what we have today is really marriage. What is marriage? It's for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate and the average marriage
Why is that all
8
down to the
years.
women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why feminists
you asked why I want divorce to be banned. Can I finish that first? So I'm saying, you know, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do.
Leave marriage for the people who actually believe in marriage. And then, boom, a very unexpected question. That is a woman. I think she has rehearsed this for a very long time, knowing that she's coming to me, that tiger, the woman, and to TATE. Listening to the question that confused this woman tigress. But I love the comeback.
Doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin, so you wouldn't be able to get married?
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
And that's a fair complaint. I wish I was. But, we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
No, but I just don't think it's fair that you get to be here and you get to be paid for your views, and you're telling other women that they shouldn't be allowed to.
I think...
Hang on. Okay, if I may, at some stage jump in. Isn't the whole point of being a feminist, though, that women are entitled to have their own views?
Absolutely.
So she's perfectly entitled to her views.
Yeah, but you can't...
You might not like them.
But I'm here to challenge
Isn't she exercising her right as a... Are you a feminist?
No, I am not.
Really?
No, I wouldn't. Don't go that far.
You don't want to be a feminist?
No, because I think if feminists really believed in equality, but you guys don't, I would love for you. There is an oil rig hiring. There is an engineering
I would actually love to see Ava Santana on an oil rig.
Seriously. There is a building being built next to my building. Go do it, feminists. Go do it. And me, I'm
doing the same job that I'm doing right now.
When you find the man you want to get married to, are you saying you will be with that man whatever happens the rest of your life?
Yes, for the vows that we're supposed to live by.
How do you know you can keep them?
I mean, I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
Ava, I've got to say, it's a little bit listening to Andrew Tate where some of it I really don't agree with. I don't agree with the vote stuff. When I hear things like that, I think there'll be a lot of people, especially older generation women perhaps, who think, you know what, she's got a point.
Well, I mean, I believe in agency, so I think that if a woman is going to look after her children in divorce, that's absolutely fine. I also believe in your right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand...
I'd like to say, even before the 1920s,
do you know what I mean?
Women could speak openly. This idea that, women couldn't talk the last 500 years, there have been women throughout history...
the American state education system has failed before, and it's failing now.
There have been women throughout history that have read, written, and been very influential in society.
Okay.
So this idea women could never do it.
Do you know what I don't understand though is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because you put down a few arguments that I think are perfectly they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when it kind of seeps into this sort of, you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs.
The question is, are they fat? Yes or no? The average American woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively overweight.
I mean, let's be honest. We now celebrate morbid obesity as some kind of body positive thing, and it is complete nonsense. So actually, on that point again, there's a bit of truth in that.
And this is the problem.
How have we come to celebrate morbid obesity as body positive? It's nonsense.
We're not talking about morbid obesity. I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She wasn't.
I mean, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm going to have to objectively...
And she insulted me first. They always do.
I'm going to have to objectively end the debate, but it was an interesting conversation. I think we should get you two back together as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much, Pearl. Thank you, Ava.
This is the thing. Women don't want to live in reality. Ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers, again, thank you so much for taking your time to watch my reaction video, so you understand the reason as to why I allow these guys. Bye for now, but don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please. Help me grow the channel. I'm only started. Call me King Falme. Bye for now.